Hey, what's up gamers? It's Kwing here, and it's time for another awesome review. This week's review was none other than Shinobi 3 Return of the Ninja Master for the Sega Genesis. Now, I was about 10 years old when this game came out, and it's still amazing 15 years later. Let's dive into the story for this game. In The Revenge of Shinobi, the evil crime syndicate known as Zeed had murdered Joe's master and annihilated most of his clan. Also, Joe's bride-to-be was kidnapped by a man only known as the Shadow Master. Now, Joe finally tracks down Zeed's real location and sneaks into the base to find his beloved. There, Joe comes face to face with the leader of the syndicate, the Shadow Master. Joe fights this man with all the strength he has left in him, and it is a grueling duel, but the gangster underestimates the bold ninja and is defeated. With his beloved saved and his clan avenged, the shinobi stares out on the horizon until the world needs his power once more. 2 years later, rumors spread of the revival of Neo Z, and Shinobi embarks on his quest once again. Concept for this game. The player must guide the ninja through 8 challenging missions. Through forests, caves, factories, cities, and even across the ocean. Only then can Joe achieve his ultimate goal, the defeat of the evil criminal syndicate known as Neo Z. Only then will he be able to face the Shadow Master and put an end to his wicked ambition forever. And there you have it, folks. This game is basically another good versus evil game. Evil arises and good smacks it down. Time for the controls for this game. Just so everyone knows, this is Wiimote controls. Now you move Joe with the command cross, and you can sneak walk by pressing down. You throw kunais by hitting the 1 button, and Joe will jump by pressing the 2 button. To perform a running slash, tap forward twice and hit the 1 button. There's also a really cool jump attack you can do too, but it's a bit difficult. To do a double jump, tap the 2 button twice and then hit the 1 button to rain down death upon your enemies. To perform a ninja block, simply hold in the 1 button. By the way, this is my favorite move, but I'll talk about it much more later, and believe you me, I will. Now, melee attacks are done when you're very close to your opponent. If you have a power-up, you'll use your sword. If not, then you're stuck with the kunais, which aren't too bad, but their range is pretty weak and very limited, so you want to get the power-up so you can have your sword. Now, I really like the gameplay for this game, and have yet to find anything really wrong with it, which is great. Okay, moving on to the super moves. See in your top corner up there, the lightning bolt? Now you have 4 super moves to choose from, and after selecting it with the start button, hit the A button in order to use your ninja art. However, please note that unlike Naruto, you have a limited amount of power, so use your power wisely, like for bosses. What I really liked about this game too is you could cling to objects like Wolverine with your kunais, and you can wall jump very easily. In fact, it's kind of automatic when you jump right next to it. When riding the horse and stuff, the controls are pretty much the same as when you were controlling your ninja. The only difference is you cannot block, which that becomes a pretty big pain later on. Cowabunga, dude, he's a surfing ninja. And again, the controls are really no different. And no, this isn't Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, Manhattan Project, it's Shinobi 3. It's just a coincidence that he's on a surfboard. Designed for this game. Shinobi 3 is probably one of the coolest designed ninja games ever, and I really mean that too. This game's got like Edo meets Tokyo from the future, all blended into a pretty amazingly awesome smoothie. Seriously, I couldn't be happier with this game's look. Even though this is a very short game, Joe, his enemies, and the world he travels in looks tubular. The backgrounds of Shinobi 3 deserve an honorable mention too for 1993. Still, the one thing I remember about this game was that boss fight. History for this game. Shinobi first hit the arcades in '87, although I didn't get to play it until '89, and that was for the NES. Sadly, that was a very crappy port. Even though the game was dreadful, I still remember it, because I learned that even though the NES controller is very strong, it can't handle repeated beatings up against a wall. Now, the series has seen a lot of sequels and reboots, appearing on most Sega systems and then the PS2, but Shinobi's early games did follow a certain plot. Take Revenge of Shinobi. Its story takes place at the end of the first game. Joe travels to America to save his bride and put Zeed out of commission. The game sported a new side-scrolling element too, and Joe has 4 powers he could use, and he also wears white now. The game was famous for breaking copyrights and including characters they shouldn't, like Spider-Man, Batman, Godzilla, and Rambo to name a few. but I'll talk more of Shinobi 2 on December 5th, 2008, which is Ninja Day. What's interesting about the third game in the series is how many times Sega delayed it. In Japan, the game is called Super Shinobi 2 and had a much deeper story than here in the West. What I recall about this game again is how many times Sega delayed it. They delayed it so many times. It was supposed to come out in the spring of 92, then the fall of 92, then the spring of 93, and then finally it came in the summer of 1993. And all the screenshots and stuff you're seeing right now is actually from the early beta versions of the game. And now you're seeing the end result of the release product, Shinobi 3 Return of the Ninja Master. And you can see that the colors are much brighter and that this level itself wasn't in the original betas. And you can see that Shinobi's now wearing white. And what was sad about some of the features that were removed is there was a really cool weapon called the Ice Element that would freeze all the characters, and it was just as powerful as the Fire Dragon things, but they removed it from the game, so instead of 5 elements you only had 4. And then much later on in 2002, Shinobi did come to the PS2, and I do own this game, and it's actually pretty decent. Although it's a new character, it's not Joe, but I did enjoy this game. It had a mature rating, but it's a pretty good game. It's not really like its predecessors, but it's a new generation now, I suppose. Still, you can't go wrong with the original Shinobi, but luckily, Shinobi 3 is on the Wii Virtual Console, and it's just 800 Wii points. I strongly suggest that you guys download this game. You will be amazed how much fun this game really is. Alright, time for the bad aspect. I actually only have a few things I didn't like about this game, so sorry gamers, no rant in this review. The only major drag about this game, now that I think about it, is how it borrowed, yeah that's it, 2 stages from Ninja Gaiden 3, The Ancient Ship of Doom, although they made the stages a bit easier compared to Ninja Gaiden 3. Now for some reason, I didn't like this boss that you're seeing right here. Now, if some of you have played Revenge of Shinobi, then you would know that this boss is insanely challenging. So you can bet I wasn't too happy to see old Dressman here again. Although this time, he wasn't too hard, but I just didn't enjoy myself as much as the other boss fights in this game. Which I say, I did spank them pretty good. Yep, I don't like this boss at all. I don't know why either. I mean, he's not a hard boss, he just jumps around like an idiot. It's very easy to beat him. Maybe I just didn't like the presentation of this boss fight, I don't know. And you have those stupid fans flying at you. Maybe my inner child knows why I hate this boss so much. Too bad he's out to lunch. Alright, time for the good aspect. I am a pushover for cool super moves, so if a game has it, you know I'm a pretty happy camper. The Shadow Clone Ninja art, actually the clones don't do much except you run faster and you jump higher, and the lightning attack makes Joe invincible for a bit. Now the Ninja Fire art is great for wiping out a bunch of enemies or performing a serious overkill for fun. But one of the best things about this game that I still remember to this day is this boss fight. It's not that it's hard or anything, it's just fun, and it's prolonged, and it's great. Ah yes, I actually forgot one super move, except this one can be killer, well to Joe anyway. Joe performs a kamikaze by blowing himself up and everyone on the screen. It doesn't use magic, but if you didn't know it kills you, you're going to be wondering, how did I lose so many lives? My advice, only use it on the bosses. Time to talk about one of my favoriteest things about this game, blocking. Oh yeah, believe it or not, people actually play this game without knowing you can block, haha. Anyway, Joe can block just about anything, even some bosses, and it makes playing the game so much more fun. I play this on my Wii more than Ninja Gaiden 2, it's that amazing. If this game didn't have the block, it would still be pretty tight, but being able to block makes this game wicked cool. Shinobi 3's gameplay is fantastic and will not disappoint the hardcore gamer, but I would recommend this game to everybody, not just the hardcore crowd. Even if you've never heard of Ninja Gaiden or Shinobi, I love this game. There are very few games that I can think of in the past decade that I replayed just to replay for fun. This game is easily in my top 10. Now Shinobi has great music, challenging levels, 3 difficulty settings, smooth gameplay, and it's a very fun game. I'm more than happy to give this game a 9 out of 10. Do yourself a favor and download this for your Wii for 800 Wii points. It's nothing compared to how much fun you'll have playing it. And yes, the rumors are true, I am leaving YouTube on September 1st, 2008. But don't worry, I'm not quitting my reviews. But you will no longer see new K-Wing reviews on YouTube. You can blame YouTube for that. If you would like more information on why I'm leaving or where my videos are going to be, either head over to K-Wing's forums or read my blog that's linked on the YouTube website. Well, that does it for me, guys. The next review will be Star Tropics. It'll be a co-op review with my lovely bride. And that is it. God bless and happy gaming. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe. That yellow button right to the right of me. Later, guys.